Hey guys, it's Iskamar, and I'm about to give you my preliminary list of games that I am excited for and plan to be playing through 2017 and 2018 and beyond. I also want to express to you that I'm just excited to be a gamer again. And as an MMO player, the industry's been in a pretty dark place for me, and I could go on and on for hours about how the industry is turned into a steaming pile of shit, but I will save that for another video. I can't exactly pinpoint on why my mood towards gaming has changed. It isn't necessarily that the titles that we're getting are vastly superior to what we've gotten over the past couple of years, but I've actually found excitement with what I'm currently playing, the changes that are coming, and I do think that the roster of games that are upcoming are solid enough to get pumped up for. So if you're looking forward to playing any of these games, go ahead and subscribe below. Now let me give you my list, and I also have a bonus game that I'm throwing in at the end, so here we go. The first game on my list is Mew Legend. This game is an ARPG MMO hybrid, and shout out to Fever who, after spending a good amount of time with it, equates it to Diablo 3 if it had more development and features. This is sort of my filler game going into 2018. I think this game has some potential to be good, but I'm not going to set my bar of expectations too high. What I look to get out of this game is the ability to make some fun and troll builds to take into PvP. According to the devs, they have a lot of content in the pipeline for this game, including guild wars with battles over territories and a 3 versus 3 PvP mode. The game already has a 10v10 mode in it. I'm going into this game with low expectations and hoping to be pleasantly surprised. At worst case scenario, I get a month or two of fun, get to troll some people, and hopefully get a decent character building experience. On the best side of things, I end up getting wowed by the content, the PvP is fun and engaging, the character building experience is deep and rich, and they release the future content in a fast but polished manner. Now, this is Korean, it's WebZen and F2P, so there could be some pay-to-win aspects, so let's cross our fingers there. And the freaking wings annoy the shit out of me. Hopefully we can turn them off. From what I understand, this was a core lore feature back in the original Mew way back, so this isn't just some anime fan service. The game goes into open beta tomorrow on November 7th, and there are no character wipes. This is basically a soft release. I'll be making a lot of videos and plan to stream it on YouTube and Twitch as well. Game number 2 is Bless Online. This game has been in development for a long time. If you remember back to when we were getting the first hype videos for Black Desert Online, we were also getting videos for Bless at the same time. The game has had a lot of trouble, has been in limbo in Korea, was taken down in Russia, and the devs have decided to slow play it and begin rebuilding the game in order to fix a lot of the issues people have had with it. Along with this, they have decided to forego using any publishers and plan to self-publish with a global Steam release in 2018. This was a great move to me because the publisher they were going to use in the West, Area Games, doesn't have the best reputation. This game is currently in its rebuilding phase, and you can actually play on the rebuild servers in Korea at the moment. I don't know when the actual release date in 2018 is, but I do plan to start testing it out on the rebuild servers sometime soon. What I am hoping to get out of this game is a decent combat system, something in between Terra and Guild Wars 2. A lot of people will be like, why play this over BDO or Black Desert Online? Well, for me, even though BDO's combat system was pretty entertaining for me in the early phases, I couldn't get past the uninspired character development. The RPG aspect of MMOs is important to me. I simply love to build my character. I like standing out from the crowd with different build choices that goes from talents, ability usage, all the way down to itemization. From what we have seen, this game will offer a more in-depth character building aspect, and hopefully will also be better in the itemization front. This game is theme park, as it will have dungeon content as well as raids. The world is supposedly seamless, which is important to me. Runs on a 2-faction system and features open world PvP as well as battlegrounds. I'm hoping that Bless will be a pleasant surprise to everyone in the West. I don't expect this game to be the game that we've been waiting for, but I do hope for it to be a solid title reminiscent of MMOs in the past. What it will take to keep me engaged is first and foremost, the combat system needs to be at least decent. It needs to be fluid and functional, but I don't need amazing. The character building needs to be somewhat deep and strategic. I've learned to compromise a lot in this department with the MMOs we've been fed over the years. PvP should be fun. I'm not looking for balance. I actually dislike too much balance in games with world PvP. My mantra for games like this is balance is best served through a good distribution of imbalance. Simply put, having more choices is better. Number 3 on the list is Heroes of the Storm. This game is already released and has sort of come out of left field for me. I reinstalled this past year and was just messing around with some of the new heroes and trolling a bit. I had zero intentions to actually keep playing the game. Then I was unexpectedly hooked. I've been having a lot of fun with the game and it has brought back a lot of excitement for me. That excitement has now been taken to a new height with the new hero and changes announced at BlizzCon. The game will be getting voice chat and a new ranking system that factors individual performance and should make climbing for good players a lot faster. They are also making core gameplay changes to fort and tower mechanics, such as giving towers unlimited ammo in the early game to emphasize more laning, as well as making objectives spawn later. This means that a good laning phase will be important, and I believe this will give a little bump to the individual skill cap in the game. I really like the trait system, as it gives me a mini MMO experience and lets me build my heroes in ways that are unique to my own playstyle. Though I do think this system could be added upon to increase the depth, and hopefully just like LoL reinvents itself every year, this is something we will see built upon with HOTS, as we already see that they are going down the path with the upcoming changes. If you want a bite-sized MMO PvP experience, then I suggest giving this game a try. I plan to have it as one of my core games in the foreseeable future. Number 4 is Age of Empires Definitive Edition. This one is so near and dear to my heart. I can remember being 7 years old and getting our first computer with dial-up internet. My uncle told my dad about this game, we bought it, and the rest is history. This is where my love for PvP began. I hated playing through campaigns, I only wanted to play against people. Later on with the Rise of Rome mini expansion, my dad was one of the top ranked players. Shout out to those of you who remember playing on the MSN gaming zone. My memory is a little mixed with my AOE days, but I believe I was a lowly 1400s, 1500s player throughout this game. And at 9, I was able to reach the 1600s and 1700s with Age of Conquerors. Man, who remembers the good old days of Legion Wars or Archer Wars? Or even Wonder Wars. I remember playing Wonder Wars and this guy showed me how to stack my buildings and towers so that units couldn't pass through. And then you would just go crazy with ballistas and I would win nearly every Wonder War with it. Man, I miss those days. So this, I believe, is more than a graphical update like they did with the AOC HD edition. They're actually going to do more to bring this game up to modern times, do some balance overhauls, as well as add more civilizations. I simply cannot wait for this. And I was a little sad that they pushed it back into 2018, but at the same time, they really need to nail this. So I'm glad they are taking the time to try and do it right. And number 5 is Lost Ark. This one is pretty much on everyone's list. Look, I know I have Mew Legend on my list, I also have HOTS, and even though those are 2 of my top games, I'm not the biggest fan of top-down isometric view games, and I prefer third-person RPGs over them. With that being said, the style has come to grow on me a little bit, and I have been able to appreciate good ARPGs in the past, such as Titan Quest. Though Lost Ark is much more than an ARPG. At its very core, it is meant to give off the living, breathing world feel of a true MMO, and deliver that in an isometric ARPG package. The game offers a host of interesting and unique classes, and the character building experience seems to be pretty deep with skill mixing and matching, skill augmentation, as well as borrowing some different itemization mechanics from other games. The dungeons look fun. Some of the low-level content we have seen so far already shows glimpses of boss mechanics that you would only imagine will get more complex with higher level and harder content. The game world is set to be pretty vast and there are a lot of non-combat systems to keep people engaged. But let's face it, I mainly care about doing PvE content in order to develop my character for PvP. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy good PvE. But PvE is more of a supporting foundation for me to enjoy my PvP on top of. Currently, we have seen arena PvP as well as some PvP in some of the game maps. I am more interested in how they will go about allowing world PvP, and I really do hope they support this. To me, PvP is only made better by allowing it to happen in varying and engaging environments, and I like having the option of the unstructured nature of world PvP in the various zones, as well as the structured arena PvP. The structured PvP has been pretty interesting so far and seems to offer a decent skill cap. There's a lot of comboing a la BNS or Dragon's Nest. Honestly, I think this can become a little bit much for me. There's a fine line to walk in which these CC chains just become too annoying. And there's also mini stuns with each hit in the game, so I hope they can really fine tune these mechanics and manage to walk that fine line. My expectations for Lost Ark is to be that game. I think this might be one of the rare games that at least 80% lives up to the hype. And if it pulls that off, then it'll be a game that I look to enjoy for at least 1 or 2 years. That is a lifetime for me with today's games. And the bonus game is the World of Warcraft Classic servers. I honestly was never too hyped to revisit WoW, but for some reason that has changed for me. I think it is a big step for Blizzard to finally support official Classic servers, as it is something they've resisted for so long. So, I have a really deep, dark secret to admit. For many years I hid this, and I just couldn't bring myself to admit it. So here goes. WoW was my very first MMO. Yeah. The hipster side of me could never be honest about this. I had to lie to my guildies and say I started with Daok or EQ or that I even played UO. I just couldn't admit that I started with the stereotypical first MMO. But now I don't have no shame. It's just the truth. I was 16 and I barely caught the end of vanilla, though I didn't get far as I would quit during football season every year. I have some fond memories of those days. It was a new experience, a new world. I was a complete noob, and that is an experience that I will never feel again. I was in a freaking virtual world with other people. How fucking cool is that? Novelty aside, I enjoyed WoW during TBC. I was one of the few enhanced chamois to actually get both Molten Fist drops in one Mount Hydro raid. I don't have any rose-colored glasses to put on. I can't go back and enjoy WoW simply through nostalgia. The game has to actually engage me once again. I don't expect it to do so on the same level of the past, but I am excited to get to revisit an old world. I'm actually not sure if I want them to keep a pristine vanilla or TBC experience. I know they already referenced that they want to make quality of life changes, but I actually wouldn't mind if maybe they did a little balance tweaks to the talent trees to offer a new experience while also holding true to the spirit of the old. So I just want to repeat myself. I am excited to be a gamer again. The flame has been reignited, and yeah, a little bit can be attributed to the current and upcoming titles, but it's also been a change within. I have a new project I'm working on centered around gaming, and I'll talk more about that in a future video. But I have the thirst and hunger to drastically improve and become a much better gamer and just overall a better human being as well. I'll be showcasing more about my plans to do this in the future. Anyways, I hope this excitement is infectious and spreads to you as well. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, like, and let me know your thoughts. I will respond to you, and I am committed to pushing as much value with this channel as I can. Be blessed, guys. See you in the next one.